First topic of the evening, folks. You see it right here. Where does Stephen Curry rank among the all-time gods? Where does he rank? And by the way, of course, I'm going to show you some video highlights while we sit up there and talk about it. I need to know first from my guy, Ron Thomas, where do you rank Stephen Curry?
I would put my hate to the side that I cannot stand him. But I would say maybe 20. Top 20.
Why do you put him at top 20? Why not in the top 10? Give me some premise on that.
Because I would say a lot of people had better careers than he had.
Give me some names. I want some names.
Gary Payton, the Drugs, John Starks. What that point guard played with Phoenix back in the day with Charles Barkley.
Really? I'm gonna let you research that one. I'm not telling you.
Well, I just saying, if other point guards that did better than him, Steph Curry, and they're not a one-hit or 3-hit wonder. I mean, in my eyes.
All right, Ethan, how do you feel about Stephen Curry? His mic is definitely muted, but nevertheless, I'll answer the question. First of all, I think Stephen Curry is a transcendent talent that the Golden State Warriors drafted. I mean, this guy definitely slowly but surely turned around a franchise that was very dismal and made them a whole lot better. Even with the addition of Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, these guys definitely went out there and performed on a high level, with Mike Jackson being the coach. As we know, Mike Jackson isn't really an X and O's guy. Or he's more of a motivational guy in the locker room. And Stephen Curry, to me, is not only phenomenal with his game, but he's also a transcendent talent. He changed the game the way it's played. Everybody wants to shoot threes because of this guy right here, Stephen Curry. Everybody.
Right. I got to disagree with you. People were doing that before he even came along. Shooting threes.
At the clip like Stephen Curry?
I mean, somewhat, but I just saying. Iverson, John Starks, all the point guards were shooting threes, and they did not get the just due. In my eyes.
All right, let me go to the comments real quick. Let me go to the comments because there's some comments in here. Very early, not even 11:20 a.m. said Deborah. Thank you, Ramona. Who is the fire starter? You know who the fire starter is. Come on now, Ramona. She said, I just finished making biscuits, gravy, eggs, and bacon. Right. Don't rank it behind at all.
I didn't get no invite.
Yeah, you got an invite and input. You ain't hear me earlier say eat.
No. I meant about the biscuits and gravy. I'm like, I didn't get no invite.
That's funny. Hilarious. Dan said, don't rank his A double at all, in my opinion. He can thank KD for his last 2 rings. If KD don't come out to Oakland, they get lucky with that one championship.
Wow. I have him top 10. I had technical difficulties. I was on mute. But.
No, that's all good. By the way, for those who saying that you should research, come on now, like you should know some of this. I mean, you already got to have some type of sports acumen. Talking about Stephen Curry isn't too difficult, but I will say this in a nutshell. To answer Dez's comment, Dez, if you don't feel the same way about LeBron James, I'm kind of not really thrilled about that comment. And the only reason why I'm not thrilled is because KD going to Oakland obviously broke the code in which LeBron James was going to the finals at an easier clip, being in the Eastern Conference, a weak Eastern Conference. So him going to Oakland was like the code breaker, first and foremost. Yeah. And LeBron James also had talent too. I mean, let's talk about Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, and others that he's played with. Even when he went to Cleveland, he had Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, and others. So I'm not really upset at KD if I'm not upset at LeBron. So that's my take on that. I'm not upset at either with that. I'm not. I can't be upset at KD for going to Oakland when that was a decision that obviously he made because of what was going on with the Thunder organization, period. So, I mean, a man has a right when you let him off the hook to go wherever he wants, to be quite clear. I do think Stephen Curry can still win championships without KD, though. I mean, they did win one without him. I think that he can win another without him. So, I mean.
Here's an aside question. I heard somebody mention yesterday. Could he win one without Klay Thompson?
That is a very good question. Klay Thompson, we know what Klay Thompson is. Klay Thompson could put up 30 points without dribbling the ball twice. So we know what Klay Thompson is on offense. Defensively, Klay Thompson is pretty good. I will say yes. Granted, given the right person. Give him the right person, and I think so. I really do. Is Steph Curry the type of person that's going to carry his team by itself? No. But then we can say that about a whole lot of people.
Right.
But this guy is just look at this. Just look at the highlights. Look where he's pulling up from.
We already seen that in the finals with KD and Klay Thompson went down with those injuries.
I mean, you're right. I mean, Curry's shooting is insane.
I mean, here's another question I'm gonna ask you: is Stephen Curry the greatest assassin, the greatest sniper in NBA? Is he?
He's up there, but I don't know if he's the greatest.
All right, let me get to some more comments.
Ramona, he was injured last year, Ramona.
Okay, Mr. Cinder said Curry's dad was good too. Trained his kids right in b-ball. Absolutely, he did. I think without KD, maybe that team doesn't turn around. Doesn't turn around from what exactly, Ramona? What don't they turn around from? I mean, the Warriors were already a championship team without Klay. Without KD. Isn't that the reason why people are highly upset? She said she agrees with Dez, and I love Curry. Cool. I'm talking about the Warriors. Oh, she said Ethan who?
I thought she was referring to Curry. That Curry, it didn't work out very well last year. That Curry without Klay, I don't know what she was referring to. With she said didn't work out very well last year.
He was injured, and even when he came back, he showed that he could still play the game. If you really looked at what he did when he came back from the injury, when they had him come on that one game where he played in the one game, he had I think 23 points, something like that, in like 20 minutes. So okay, Dre, I got a question for you. Are there any other point guards in the NBA right now that you would pick over Curry?
The team coaching factor.
With the team coaching factor. Oh, what's up? My guy Marcus Betts is in the house. The Alpha's in the house. What up?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, are there any point guards I would take before Stephen Curry right now?
Any point guards that you would take before Steph Curry?
No.
Whew.
My answer is no. No.
No.
In the words of my no,
No.
there ain't no point guards out there in the level of Steph Curry.
I think Steph Curry has everything, the intangibles, all of it. The only problem with Steph Curry is late in games, like last second shots. Steph Curry isn't the greatest at last second shots, according to most folks. He's not the greatest, but no.
So we're just gonna leave Kyrie Irving and Westbrook off of this list.
Kyrie ain't.
They're not at Curry level.
Nah. No.
When you look at a distributor, I think Kyrie's a better distributor than Steph is. I will give him that. He's not the shooter, without a doubt. He's not the same shooter that he is. He's not even in that conversation. But as far as distributing the ball and being a playmaker, like Steph Curry, if he really wanted to, he could be a 2 guard. You just let him shoot all day.
Curry is a combo guy.
Yeah, he's more of a combo guard. But I think as far as like in the traditional sense of a point guard, I think Kyrie Irving's more of a point guard than Steph Curry is.
Well, Ramona brought up a name. What about Luka?
Luka's nice. Luka is nice.
We forgot about Luka.
Luka Doncic is nice. He is quite nice. And if he keeps on the pace that he's on, I might take Luka over Curry, but he got to give me some more. He got to give me more. He ain't gave me enough yet.
I'm sorry. My thing with Curry is, I mean, I might even take Luka right now because Curry's injured. I don't know how much is he gonna get injured.
I was just about to say that. Like, do we know? Look, when you tear things in your lower extremity of your body, knees and ankles and things like that, we saw a long time. Derrick Rose, he had to take a long road back to even being a functional NBA player. As a point guard, when your knees and ankles are gone, when you can't make explosive moves, it kind of like saps you of your greatness. Because we remember, let's not forget how great Derrick Rose was before he start having the leg injuries. He was elite. I mean, we were talking about
MVP,
an all-timer. So I don't know. When you start having those kind of injuries, is Steph over 30 now? He's over 30 now, ain't
he? Yeah.
If not, he's close.
Yeah, I mean, once you start hitting your 30s, and the way that he plays, his game's more of a freestyle type street ball game. And you start taking away that explosiveness, that lateral quickness, that first step, because that's what we remember Derrick Rose was. And like, he just got back. I mean, a couple of years ago, we were saying that Derrick Rose was done. So I'm with Ethan on that. It's like, we still, at last seen, yes, Steph Curry was an elite point guard, maybe the best in the league, but I think we're gonna have to wait and see. And then also let's not forget, with everything that's been going on, these players, they're just gonna throw them back out there and just start the season up. That's what they're talking about doing. I mean, you look, you really got like 3 seasons, just like in any sport. You got the preseason, you got the regular season, and then you got playoff basketball. Okay,
right.
It's like 3 seasons within one. And what you're basically telling these players to do was they hit the preseason, they had the regular season, then they had like a long break. You might as well say like the season was over, and then they're going back to playoff basketball. I think
right.
you may see.
Right.
You may see what?
You may see a lot of injuries. I'm not wishing that. I'm not wishing that on anybody. But when you're just telling people, I mean, playoff basketball is a whole nother level of basketball. You know what I'm saying? And when you're telling guys to just go out there and pick that intensity back up and to just start it back up, go from 0 to 100, just like that. I think you start seeing like a lot of injuries. And I'm not wishing that, but that's usually how that happens.
All right. Well, speaking on playoff basketball, I got a playoff-like question to ask on our next topic. Obviously, Mo Badger, what's good? As you can see, the question in hand is, who is the better power forward?
Me?
Dirk Nowitzki or Charles Barkley? Ron Thomas, I'm going to let you go.
I got to go with Charles Barkley. He took the ball from start to finish, ran it all the way up to the other basketball goal and dunk it with power. Dirk never done nothing like that. When Charles Barkley was playing with the 76ers, he had power. Dirk never had that power game.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough, man. That's like asking, that's like asking, do you want a ribeye? Do you want a ribeye or do you want a
Or
filet
steak.
mignon? You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah.
You know, it's really more of a matter of what your taste is. Like, what do you like? You know, ice cream is good. Do you like chocolate ice cream? You like strawberry ice cream? You like vanilla ice cream? You like Rocky Road? You like pralines and cream? I mean, you can't go wrong with either of these, and they both had their strengths. Now, like Ron was saying, Charles Charles's power and the be only 6'5" playing power forward. That's what people don't really remember is he wasn't that tall. He was 6'5", which for a power forward is really short. I mean, he was shorter than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant were 6'6", and Charles Barkley was 6'5". So he's in there battling against them trees down low, and still averaging double digit rebounds. So I think that's a feat all into itself. But would it be out of the would it be crazy to say that Dirk Nowitzki's the best white player that we've seen since Larry Bird? Would that be out of the would that be a stretch to say that? Even though he was European born, he's German. Would it be fair to say up to that point that Dirk Nowitzki was the best white player that we've seen since Larry Bird? Is that fair?
I don't think that's a stretch.
Okay.
No, I don't think that's a stretch at all.
7 feet tall, 7 feet tall, standing on a perimeter shooting threes, and he was a deadly shooter. Now I don't think that his fadeaway jumper was incredible. Now I don't think his post game was that great. He wasn't the type to just back you down, but his outside shooting and just his length, he was a matchup nightmare.
But, but once
Like,
again, which one you want? The power or somebody to shoot off?
if I can get my power forward to shoot threes and shoot a high average from three. I mean, Dirk Nowitzki was, like I said, he may be maybe the second best white player I've ever seen, and maybe the best European born player in history. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to throw in people like Peja Stojakovic and who else? Sabonis and who else from Europe? Foreign born players, Manu Ginobili and but when you just look at, you know, he was a matchup nightmare, and he really ushered in. He really kind of ushered in the new age of power forwards. The power forwards that were big men that were ball handlers, that were good shooters. I mean, because traditionally, when we think of power forwards, we just think of a guy down low, the Moses Malone type in the paint. You know, Karl Malone banging people down low and getting their
The
points there.
Tim
Dirk
Duncan.
Nowitzki could, you take uh, Dirk will take you out on the perimeter and wear you out on the perimeter. So, like I said,
here's my question: who you taking?
I'm taking Charles Barkley.
I'm taking Dirk.
I'm taking Charles.
As Ramona said in the comments, it's two different types of it's a power. I mean, it's finesse and it's power.
Yes.
Thank you for reading the comments, Ethan, by the way. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. Ron Enix, what's up?
Not much, man. What's going on, guys?
What's going on? What's your thoughts on Charles Barkley versus Dirk Nowitzki? Who you taking?
I take Nowitzki.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me. I mean, it's tough, as Marcus said. It's really tough. But
don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Barkley, but I mean, if we're going just by who do I think would be in a better position, I'm going to say Dirk.
Yeah, I gotta go. I mean,
as far as production,
they're both.
I mean, there were some times that Dirk Nowitzki played small forward at 7 feet tall. There were some times that he played small forward. Who do you put on him? Like
right.
with Charles Barkley, like who do you put on a? Dirk is like a heavier Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kevin Durant's nearly 7 feet tall, but he's light, he's light in the ass, but Dirk is 7 feet tall. He's 7 feet tall with ball handling skills, can cross you up. You'd have to put some bricks in Kevin Durant's shorts to get him to 200 to get him to 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
That's great.
Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
So I'm gonna tell you what. I'm taking Dirk for a couple reasons. We just talked about Steph Curry being a transcendent player.
Yes.
Dirk is the best big man shooting. Period. Dirk made it cool for big men to shoot. If you want
to, hang on. I'm gonna before him though. I'm gonna say the boy from the Bulls. Tony Kukoc. I'm saying, hang on, hear me out. I'm saying when you said he started that, I'm not gonna say he started that. That started with Tony Kukoc.
Yeah.
And that's what made them that's what makes guys like him. They ushered in like that new era of big men that were good ball handlers. They could also shoot.
Well, okay, so I'm glad that you say that, but here's where I disagree. Tony Kukoc didn't do it at a level of consistency as Dirk Nowitzki. So maybe you might have a point at who started it.
No, but he ushered it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Anybody can start. I'm talking about legitimately finessing it. I'm talking about legitimately making it cool. Like Dirk made it cool. Like Dirk is the one who changed the game and had people legitimately.
How can you do it at that era when you got Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen on your team?
That has nothing to do with it.
Hang on. If you're gonna take it there, let's not act like Charles Barkley didn't have some Hall of Fame teams, Hall of Fame teammates.
Right.
Don't forget he played with Hakeem.
Yeah.
He played with Clyde Drexler.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean,
Danny Manning. He played with Danny Manning. He played with a couple folks in Phoenix.
I'm with y'all on that, but when I'm saying 9 times 10, Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen had the rock. Yes or no?
Not all the time.
No, it wasn't all the time.
No.
Dan Marley, by the way, Marley is the person you look at.
Dan Marley, Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny Ainge with him for a little bit.
Chambers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm
Kevin Johnson, KJ was one of the best point guards of his era.
Thank you, Marcus. And that's who I was talking about just a minute ago, Dre.
Yeah, Kevin Johnson.
KJ was not KJ like that that 96 Suns team, I want to say they won like 62 games.
Yeah, they won
Something
60
like that.
plus games.
They won 60. I mean, they were, they wasn't no joke.
Yeah,
And
no
Michael
flop.
Jordan them just took them out. So I'm just saying, Dre, you talk about the transcendent player, the guy who, the term that I like to use for people that are rare specimens. What do I call them?
Unicorn.
Unicorns. When you don't see something like that, like you look at a guy like Zion now. Zion's like that new breed. Like what position really is he? He's 300 pounds.
While we're talking about, I'll be honest about Zion. I mean, I like him, but he's got to lose some weight, or he's not gonna last. His knees are going out.
But I would compare Charles Barkley to Zion, because let's not forget, Charles Barkley wasn't no little boy, 6'5" and probably about 260 pounds. That's Zion Williams. That's Zion Williamson, but he's not that tall. I mean, 6'5" is tall to us, but in the NBA at a power forward position, that's really short. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, Zion Williamson is kind of like a younger Charles Barkley. His nickname was the round mound of rebound. That was his nickname.
Right. So consensus, I need to know so we can get to the next topic. Dirk or Charles?
Dirk.
I'm taking Dirk too. Definitely taking Dirk. All right, moving right along. Yeah, this is a monkey wrench. Y'all probably didn't see this coming.
Y'all got me up here in this parking. Y'all got me up here in this parking lot talking sports. I'm up here shopping for a birthday present for my daughter. I got to come in here and battle with you guys. That's how Rise Up do it. We don't die, we multiply.
Make sure you get her something good, Marcus.
Ooh,
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Oh, by the way, let me read these comments real quick.
When's your birthday?
Hold on.
June 25th. She'll be 9.
Oh.
But I got to start now. See, like, you better start looking for my gift, Dad. I'm like, oh.
All right, so let me read these comments. Ramona said, "Love Dirk, but Barkley on the rebounds." Chuck was lazy at the end. Said TC Casey said Dirk is a better shooter. Des said Dirk, he's a better teammate, leader. That's why I'm picking Dirk. Ramona said Dirk is a much better shooter, ball handler, but Barkley was a better rebounder. Hey, Brittany, what's up? Shout out to you. Kellen for the culture, what's up? Said Sir Charles was a beast. He said KJ, Thunder, Dan, Chuck. Des, we will talk about Kevin McHale on the next show. Since you want to talk about Kevin McHale and his underrated career, we'll talk about him on the next Monday Night Madness. Why not?
Hey, Dre, who was that big boy? Who was the big boy they had? Oliver, what was Oliver Miller? You remember him? Young kid, Oliver Miller, big boy?
Yes. Yes.
Like, let's not act like Charles didn't play with some, he started off with Moses Malone in Philly. Let's not forget that.
And Dr. J.
Let's not forget that in the '84 draft he was playing with Moses Malone. So let's not forget that. And then he goes to Phoenix, and then we mentioned all those people. With Phoenix, and then he goes to Houston. And he's playing with Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon. Stop it. Let's not act like he didn't have no teammates with him. Y'all got me up here arguing sports in the parking lot.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
That's what we do. Rise up, family. All right. Who wins this fight? You see it right here. I'm showing the highlight report.
I got to say
Anderson Silva or Conor McGregor.
That's going to be a barn burner.
Silva.
No way.
McGregor.
McGregor.
I gotta say Silva.
You can say Silva.
Let me ask Ron first. Why do you say Silva?
Me?
No,
Ron Thomas.
He's a fight on his knees. He got what you call him, Marcus. He don't always got to stand up and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like McGregor do. He the fight how you want it.
Oh, you talking about ground and pound?
Right. He the ground and pound you and stuff.
Not necessarily. He'll knock you in the next week. I mean, he
would rather fight you standing up.
He'd rather stand up. I mean, he likes to sit up there and clown and pick you apart. That's what got him in trouble against who was that boy he broke his leg against when he kicked him and he broke his leg?
Ooh.
They had 2 fights, and the first fight he lost because he got caught showboating and he got knocked out. I can't think of his name. I can't think of it. Weiger or something like that.
Yeah.
He was clowning and he caught him, and then they had the rematch, and then he kicked him, and he blocked it with his leg and broke Anderson Silva's leg.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that was nasty. Oh man.
Weidman. I think that was his name. Weidman.
That
and
was.
He got caught. He got caught. So
you're talking about Chris Weidman. He lost to Chris Weidman.
He lost to him twice. He lost the first fight to him because he was clowning. He put his hands down, and Weidman knocked him into next week. And then in the second fight, Anderson went to kick him, and he did a leg block and broke his leg.
His leg wrapped right around his. Yeah. Oh man,
he lost to Michael Bisping, and he lost to Daniel McCormick.
Yeah, so I mean, let's not act. And Silva, he's kind of old now. He's kind of long in the tooth. Now we've seen Anderson Silva fight at light heavyweight. He actually had moved up and fought Daniel Cormier and lost. And he actually gave Daniel Cormier a hell of a fight. Look, I tell you guys all the time, size matters. When people say size does matter. That's why they have weight classes.
Right.
And when you put a good big man versus a good little man, generally the good big man is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only issue that I have with Conor McGregor that I've seen in a lot of his fights, he's an incredible fighter. But I have to say, ever since he came back from the Floyd Mayweather fight, let me tell you something. When you make $200 million in a fight, when you make $200 million in a fight, it's really, really hard to get up in the morning
to go get your brains beat in.
Yes, I mean, look, man, it's like, y'all ever seen Rocky when he fought Mr. T? Y'all, what was that? Rocky 3.
Yep.
And Mick was talking to Rocky. And he said, Rock, the worst thing that could happen to a fighter happened to you. You got civilized. And basically what he's meaning, like when Rocky was coming up, he lived hard,
You lost
fighter in Philadelphia. And then he's like, and when Apollo Creed made him start training, when Apollo Creed started training him, he goes, you got to get that eye of the tiger back. You don't have that no more. And I'm not saying that Conor doesn't have that, but it's when you start making money and he's selling like whiskey and stuff like that, and you start having other interests and stuff like that, it's really hard to get up in the morning and train and go to the dojo for 6-7 hours and train all day. That's all that I'm saying.
I get that. I see what you're saying. What I'm going to say is I think McGregor is going to win this fight. I seen a difference in him his last fight, and I'm sure everybody else did too. That was not the same Conor McGregor from before. Like, he was more humble. He just seemed more I don't want to say.
He had more humility.
Yes.
Getting choked unconscious by Khabib, that'll do that to you.
Well, and that's good. Maybe that's what he needed.
Hey,
one of the
reasons.
Go ahead, Ethan.
Oh, I'm just gonna say one of the reasons I'm picking McGregor is Silva's lost 6 of his last 8 fights against elite competition.
Well, they were also big. They were also, like I said, one of his last fight was against Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier, let's not forget, Daniel Cormier has the light heavyweight. He was holding the light heavyweight and the heavyweight championship. He was holding the light heavyweight and the heavyweight championship at the same time.
But don't y'all think Silva got something to prove?
What?
Don't y'all think Silva got a lot to prove?
Look,
at his age, no.
I always get a little queasy when older guys are like, "I'm in the best shape of my life." No, you're not. You're not.
Right.
You're
Right.
45. You're not in the best shape of your life. You were in the best shape of your life in your 20s. And
That's
yes,
why I
they
said
look
no.
good in the gym. They look good in the gym when they're training. They look good on the speed bag. They look good in all of that sparring sessions. They look good because you're not in a real fight. You really don't know how guys are going to look when the real bullets start flying. That's the real test.
Isn't this the same conversation we had about Tyson?
Yeah.
Yes, look, he looks great. Look, that YouTube video, it looked incredible. Look at Tyson, he's back. Let's
Anybody
not forget.
does.
Everybody
You're
look
seeing
good
that.
in the gym.
Yeah, it's like dude said off of Bloodsport. He goes, yeah, that's great. You're breaking big old blocks of ice. He goes, but you know, that don't hit back. You know, a bag don't hit back. Y'all look at Tyson's last fight. He quit in the fight. He quit.
Oh, yeah.
He quit in the fight on his knees, just sitting down. Okay, so you know, to you not to plagiarize and use his words. When Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, that's the truth. You look good in training until you get punched in the face and you realize you're in a real fight. Everybody's telling Tyson, "Oh man, you should come back out of retirement and fight Deontay Wilder." That would be bad. That is a terrible idea. Terrible.
I just think he want the money. That's the only reason he coming out.
No,
He's getting money now.
No.
It's not about money. Look, Tyson used to live for that. I mean, that was.
Did we forget Tyson manager was Don King?
No, we didn't.
That took
we don't want to get too off topic because we on the topic of Anderson Silva and Conor.
I mean, it's a pick'em fight. If you just look at if the advantage that Anderson Silva has is that he's a bigger man. He's a bigger, taller man. And I would give the youth edge to Conor McGregor. I would give that to him. But let's not also forget with Conor McGregor, he has stamina issues. And every time he has fought like guys and moved up in weight, he's not able to carry that weight that they're talking about meeting at a catch weight at 175 pounds. That's what they're talking about meeting. And I mean, let's not forget Nate Diaz beat the snot out of Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
And Diaz is
All right. D-Wick, what up?
What's good?
What's up,
Chad? Sorry about that. Marcus, you got to unmute your mic. All right. So, moving on, because I want to get to the next topic. Let's get to it. I'm going to show everybody again. Shout out to everybody that's been tuned in so far to Monday Night Madness. Yes, I threw a curveball. We started off with basketball, talked a little UFC, and now we're going to get into our NFL talk. All right. So, with that being said, D-Wick, real quick, who do you got, Silva, or do you have McGregor real fast before we get into
McGregor?
Let me read the comments too, real quick. Ramona
Also, can we get a recap of who all everybody picked?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So you said McGregor, D-Wick?
Yeah, McGregor easily. Silva hasn't been good for the last 2-3 years now. I mean, he's done, honestly. He's just fighting just to fight now.
Okay. So we have Ron Enix who picked McGregor. Ron Thomas said Silva. I'm honestly going to go with Anderson Silva on this one. Even though McGregor looks like the better contender, I'm going to go with Anderson Silva. Only because I've seen what Silva can do when he's on his top game.
I just think he's got more to prove.
And yes, and that's the other thing too. I think Silva wants to prove one more time that he can
he's the best.
Do what he do. So I agree with the Anderson Silva thing. Not to take up too much more time, we could talk about this topic again later on. Let's move on to our NFL. And obviously, our NFL starts like, what's second-year receiver would you pick if you were starting a franchise today?
What?
Deebo Samuel, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, or DK Metcalf?
Woo.
I'm going to start with you, D-Witt, because you just got in.
So my choice is actually only between truly. I'm taking out, and I'm the process of elimination. I'm taking out Deebo Samuels. I think he's truly just a gadget player. I don't think he's that. I don't think he's in the same realm as other three wide receivers. So he's out already for me as that is. Not saying he's not good though. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not saying he's not good because he is good. I think DK Metcalf is good if he works on it. He's good without his route running. He doesn't have any route running right now. He just can't run routes. Now, can that change? Yes. But from what I saw, I'm not taking him either. But like I said, he's a physical specimen. And if somebody teaches that man how to run routes, he might be unstoppable. But from what I see right now, he just doesn't know how to run them. So it just goes down to A.J. Brown and Terry McLaurin. Now, A.J. Brown, you saw what he did with the Titans this year. He looked amazing every part of the season, even in the playoffs, with Ryan Tannehill this year. And then you had Terry McLaurin, who was playing with Dwayne Haskins and all the other quarterbacks they had there. I think they had somebody else. I just can't think who their other quarterback was this year. So it's between those two for me. I'm gonna pick Terry McLaurin. I feel like if you put him with a different a different quarterback over there, and you give him as many weapons as the Titans had this year, I feel like he would have flourished in that system that the A.J. Brown had too. I feel if you put him in the 49ers system, he would have had over 1,000 yards in that system too. I feel like if you actually put him with a decent quarterback, I think he can be over 1,200-yard receiver every single year.
But that's the thing. That's the thing, though, George. He doesn't have a decent quarterback. Who's going to be the starting quarterback? Who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Redskins this year?
Hold on.
Okay, hold on. Before we get into this,
we can't pass judgment on the quarterback for 1 year, though. Let's not do that, Marcus. Because if that's the case, then
look, there's a reason that they picked up the quarterback from the Panthers and brought him over to the Redskins. They say that Dwayne Haskins can't even read, bro. That's the word on the street.
All right, hold on. Before we get into this conversation, I got to read these comments real quick. I was going to read the comments. Ramona said, I have McGregor, but Silva's size is going to be a determining factor in the fight. McGregor has not fought a fight since the first round knockout against Sarcone, the Cowboy. Sarcone. Yeah. Okay. Now y'all can go ahead.
Okay. Real quick, Marcus. Real quick. Let's think about this. Okay. Ron Rivera brought Kyle Allen over there to be a backup quarterback. The reason why is because Ron Rivera is very high on Kyle Allen. This is not the first time we've seen a coach bring their backup who's truly a backup because Kyle Allen stinks. We all know that.
Does he stink worse? Did he stink worse than Dwayne Haskins?
He stinks after literally 1 year when they won. What did he win? Four out of his 5 games that he started, or 4 out of 6 games that he started. But he stinks. Like what do we?
I'm always wary of quarterbacks that come from big programs, and they look great at those big programs because they have a whole bunch of elite talent around them. I.e. Tim Tebow. Yes, you look great when you're throwing to NFL caliber receivers at your college, like the receivers that come out of Ohio State.
Okay, one second.
I think Dwayne Haskins played with Terry McLaurin, didn't he?
I have a question. Just real quick. You just said that, right? Okay, you said what? You have a problem with what?
I have a problem with quarterbacks that look great coming out of elite programs like Florida or Ohio State or USC, Matt Leinart, Florida, okay. Tim Tebow.
What about LSU?
That's the jury. Yeah, I do know where you're going, and the jury's going to be out on Bird.
I was just checking.
I got you. And you know what? And you know what, Ronnie Nix? That's a fair question to ask. But when you see it, like the one thing that Burrow has over these other guys is his mobility.
Yeah.
Is his mobility. Like he has his escape ability. That's the difference. Dwayne Haskins has a little bit of mobility, but not much. He doesn't have elite arm talent. Look, I look for a guy who has at least one elite trait. Like he has a rocket arm. You know, I talk about Josh Allen, but I will say that he has elite attributes in some of his game. His arm talent is elite. Yes, his arm talent is elite. Okay, his accuracy kind of sucks and his decision making kind of sucks. But his arm strength is incredible. What does Dwayne Haskins do incredible?
Hey, Marcus,
somebody please tell me.
Hold on, Marcus. Yeah. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk about it. Let's truly talk. Now, I'm gonna give you a list of players that just came out in this draft and last draft, just quarterbacks that just came out and their weapons that they had compared to Dwayne Haskins' weapons. Only person's weapon literally trash, just like his weapons, was Daniel Jones. But let's go. You got Baker Mayfield, who has one of the best wide receivers in the game, and Jarvis Landry, who's still one of the best wide receivers in the game. You got Joe Burrow, if AJ Green is playing, is a top 15, top 10 wide receiver still. You have Tyler Boyd, who literally has been solidifying himself as a top 20 wide receiver, and you have a young wide receiver over there in T. Higgins, and you have Joe Mixon. So if he doesn't succeed, boy, he has to crash, correct? So let's go to Kyler Murray. Let's go to Kyler Murray. Once again, you know, he has weapons over there. We definitely know that.
Okay, but you're still not answering the question, brother. The question was what elite attribute?
Look. I'm going to take someone that I know that's going to work. Because at the end of the day, you're saying what elite attribute, but one thing that I do know about Dwayne Haskins is he's going to work. He's going to work. That's one thing I do know.
Tim Tebow worked too.
No. Hold on. Before we get off the topic, who are we choosing as far as second year receivers?
I'm gonna choose Metcalf.
I don't trust Metcalf.
I do.
I'm gonna take AJ Brown. What he did, and that once he ended up getting a decent quarterback away from Marcus Mariota, another system guy I might mention. Once he got a decent quarterback, his game took off. Once he got a different quarterback, like, look, we're not sold on Ryan Tannehill being this great guy, but he's a serviceable quarterback. So we like using the word serviceable around here. He's a Ryan Tannehill. That's Aaron Rodgers, right? Ryan Tannehill is a service. Ryan Tannehill is a serviceable quarterback, and AJ Green showed out with him once he took over the reins in Tennessee. He looked like a totally different player. So give me AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. Who you got, D-Wick?
I got Terry McLaurin. Ron
Enix.
I'm gonna take DK because of his quarterback.
Ron Thomas.
But Jerry, wasn't the question is if you were to start a franchise, it's not saying quarterback or not, right? It's just if you were to start a franchise with him, right?
Right.
Yes.
I'll still take him.
AJ Brown is a clone of DK Metcalf, but he's a better route runner. So give me AJ Brown.
But the reason I'm going to take DK is because of his body type and the fact that he can learn the route running. Yes.
Can you learn route running?
Yes.
You can learn route running semi. I agree with you a little.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If somebody works with him, that's the reason why I didn't take him, because I would take him if he actually learned how to run a route.
Right. Okay, sorry, Andre.
No, you're okay. You're okay, Ron.
To me, DK Metcalf, the player that's in reminds me of DK Metcalf is Corder Patterson. He's a guy that he's an elite athlete, big, fast, strong guy. But he drafted Corder, and they were like, "Oh, this guy, he's going to be great. He's big, he's fast, and strong." And what they did is they just like, look, what we got to do is get the ball.
Okay. I'm sorry. We're gonna move on to the next topic.
I'm taking AJ Brown.
I'm taking AJ Brown as well. We're gonna move on to
the wolf here.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next topic. I don't know what's going on with that. Sorry about that, guys. But like and share the show. By the way, this is Monday Night Madness. Sorry, this is coming on a little earlier than usual because of emergency reasons. But nevertheless, we're gonna keep it moving. And here is the next topic. You have to rank these 5 second-year quarterbacks. You get to rank them. You got Daniel Jones. Dwayne Haskins is who we just was talking about. Drew Lock, Jarrett Stidham, Gardner Minshew. Rank them. And don't say you can't.
Who's going first? I'll go first. Fine.
Go first, D-Wick.
I got you. So at 1, and this is it's for next year. So at 1, because I feel like they had the most improvement out of the season, and he has the most weapons. I'm picking Drew Lock. There's no bias there. I'm picking Drew Lock because he just has weapons there. He has 2 wide receivers there. One possible, he has a number 1 there, and he has one that could be possibly another number 1. He has 2 running backs in Melvin Gordon and Philip Lindsay. And he has Noah Fane. He's set up to succeed. That's just simple as that. If he doesn't succeed, he's trash. 2, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in. I'll throw in a 2 at Daniel Jones. No, I'm throwing a 2 at Daniel Jones. I feel like if they give him some weapons, he could be better. I think he will have a better season and improve on it. He does throw a lot of picks at times. He makes a lot of boneheaded decisions, but doesn't every first-year quarterback. Once again, I don't see how you pass judgment on a quarterback in 1 year. That just doesn't happen. But hey, that's sports for you. At 3, I'm gonna throw in Dwayne Haskins. Like I said, he's a hard worker. You can laugh all you want. He's a hard worker. I promise you. Hey, Mark, too. I don't know if he's still there. I haven't heard. He might be gone. If you we can make a friendly bet off the show if you want to about Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins this year. I'm always at 3. 4, I'm throwing in Gardner Minshew, mustache guy. He showed some bright spots in the season. He also showed some bad spots, just like all the other quarterbacks in this list. But I think the Jaguars are semi in a rebuilding mode, so that's going to hurt him this season. And then at 5 is Jarrett Stidham. Only reason being is because we haven't seen the man play other than the preseason game. So until I see some real game from him in a regular season game, can't rank him higher than he is.
All
right. I'm gonna real quick. I'll agree with 1 and 2. I my only thing I would switch. I would switch. So you had. Yeah, I would switch Minshew to 3. I'd have McLaurin at 4. Instead of me, I'd have Stidham at 5 just because we really don't know much. We haven't seen it much from him.
All right.
The same way Ethan said that, I with Ethan.
All right.
What's the 5 quarterbacks again?
5 quarterbacks: Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, Drew Lock, Jarrett Stidham, Gardner Minshew.
I'm going Daniel Jones, Drew Lock. I'm going to go with Stidham at 3 just because I believe the coaching that he's going to get. And I'm going to go Gardner Minshew because I think the Jaguars are trash, and Dwayne Haskins at 5. I don't trust Dwayne Haskins. I just don't. I don't trust him. I trust. You're right. We don't know what Stidham is or whatever, but I believe in Bill Belichick. If Bill Belichick didn't believe in Jarrett Stidham, he would have ran for the hills and went and got Cam Newton or Andy Dalton or one of them boys, and he didn't. So obviously he sees something in him. Just like he
still don't know if they're gonna not get Cam.
Or you just throw the season away and you tank for Trevor Lawrence or Justin.
Yeah.
Fields. Like, come on. Come on now.
Let me tell you, Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I keep hearing this. Let me just say this. Bill Belichick.
He's not gonna. We know that.
Bill Belichick is not going to change the season.
Say me having the Patriots in my division for the past seeing Bill Belichick in my division for how long now? Bill Belichick is not going to sit there and is not going to tank. He's not.
He might cheat at the drop of a hat, but he's not tanking.
But with the quarterback that you don't know, who wasn't very good at Auburn, let's realize that he wasn't good at Auburn, and you expect me to believe this guy is going to win you games? I'm sorry, that Tom Brady story is once in a lifetime. This isn't a once in a lifetime. Let's not hope for this thing every single time that we just think that Bill Belichick is going to whisper in his quarterback's ear and he's going to make him. Let's stop it here, guys. I mean, Jesus, the guy was terrible.
How many games did the Patriots win last year? And that was the worst Tom Brady we've seen since his rookie season.
But it's Tom Brady.
What do we have to do with Stidham?
What I'm saying is, obviously, Bill Belichick sees something in Stidham, just like let's not forget, they drafted Tom Brady too. Do we remember what Tom Brady looked like at the combine and at the draft? Do we remember what he looked like? Do we remember Tom Brady looked like he had. Tom Brady looked like homeless. Tom Brady looked like he had coronavirus when he was at the combine. That's what he looked like. He was skinny. He was pale.
Here's my biggest question. When's the last time Bill Belichick had to coach another quarterback?
Matt Castle, whenever Tom Brady tore his ACL and they still won.
And when was that?
2011.
Okay. Fast forward 9 years.
Okay, Jacoby Brissett.
Okay.
Jimmy G, Jacoby Brissett. Do you want me to go on?
No, let me ask you something real quick, Marcus. Let me ask you something. So, you saying that he has all this trust in Mr. Stidham over there, right? But we've seen if Bill Belichick trusts he trusts a quarterback, and like he wants them to like for instance, let's think about it. Drew Bledsoe goes down. Tom Brady comes in. He trusted Tom Brady enough to take his job for Drew Bledsoe, and he pushed for Tom Brady to take that job. Let's fast forward a little bit, because you just said Jimmy Garoppolo. Tom Brady wanted Jimmy Garoppolo to take Tom Brady's job a couple years ago, but Robert Kraft wouldn't have it. So even in Tom Brady's, what I'm trying to get to, even in Tom Brady's worst year, he still wanted Tom Brady back because obviously he didn't trust Jarrett Stidham that much for him to push him out the way. Obviously, he saw something that literally during the season, everybody was saying, oh, yeah, Jarrett Stidham isn't all that. You know, the people in the Patriots camp saying that he isn't that good. We've seen Tom Brady push. We've seen Bill Belichick push other quarterbacks out the way for people that he feels are ready to. He didn't push him out.
There was the whole Tom Brady, Tom Brady Jimmy G thing. The whole Tom Brady Jimmy G thing was Mr. Kraft loves Tommy. He calls him that. He calls him Tommy. Okay. Oh, I forgot Drew Lock. I know I didn't. I said Daniel Jones.
Yeah, you said him.
Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Jarrett Stidham, Gardner Minshew, Dwayne Haskins.
All right. So what's yours, DeWitt?
Like I said, I have Drew Lock. 2, I have Daniel Jones. 3, I have Dwayne Haskins. 4, I have Minshew, and then 5, I got Stidham.
Ron Enix, what's your 5?
Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Gardner Minshew, Dwayne Haskins, and again, because I haven't seen anything, Stidham.
All right, here's my 5 real quick. I think Gardner Minshew is 1. 2 is Drew Lock. 3 is Daniel Jones. 4 is Haskins, and 5 is Stidham, only because I haven't seen nothing from Stidham. I think Gardner Minshew is definitely better than Daniel Jones. When I look at Daniel Jones's video, when I check the tape, like Sean McDermott like to do, I think Minshew, what's the word for it? Demands more at the quarterback position. You got to watch Minshew when he scrambled. You got to watch Minshew. He can throw very well on the run. He's very good throwing on the run.
When he scrambled, you got to watch Daniel Jones when he scrambled.
But I think Minshew is so much. I think Minshew is better. And he played on a terrible team and still was able to shine at times last year.
I definitely agree.
I think Dre just likes his mustache.
Yeah, you know what? That would be saying I like your mustache or your beard. You know,
y'all talk about a team tanking for Trevor Lawrence. The team that's going to be tanking for Trevor Lawrence will be the Jacksonville Jaguars because they will be one of the worst teams.
I can agree with that.
They will be in last place in the AFC South, without a doubt.
I disagree.
You don't think that they're going to come in last? You don't think that they're going to come in last place in the AFC South?
No, because what happens if Deshaun Watson goes down? Then what?
We're not talking what ifs as far as
it can happen now. Wait a minute. It can happen. Don't act like it can't happen.
Okay. I mean,
it can.
What happens if Josh Allen goes down? How good will the Bucs
be? Hey, bite your tongue.
Well,
I'm just saying. I mean,
bite your tongue. No. But here's the thing. Here's the other reason why I say that as well. I mean, you don't got to agree with it, but it can happen. Secondly, I think Jacksonville defensively still is pretty decent on defense, in which the Texans don't have the greatest of defense. I don't care. They might have J.J. Watt, but the defense only goes but so far. And if you lose Deshaun Watson, we already saw Bill O'Brien go 4-12 before, right? You seen him go 4-12? You seen that before? I've seen it before.
Well, we also got to look at the moves that Bill O'Brien's made.
Yes, and that's the other thing too. Yes, the crazy moves, in which later on we will get to why y'all shouldn't be hating on Bill O'Brien.
If any starting quarterback from a halfway decent team if any team loses their starting quarterback, they're probably not going to do very well that year. That's any team. How many games would the Green Bay Packers win if Aaron Rodgers goes down? How many games will they win?
You know that already. We ain't got to go there.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. When you're saying, well, Deshaun Watson might,
but that's not true in every. That's not true in every situation because there's teams that have competent backups that can play.
Did you say you're going to tell us why we shouldn't be hating on Bill O'Brien?
Oh, absolutely. Later on in the show, we will get to that. I promise.
I was just making sure I heard you right.
All right. We're going to move on to the next topic, too, while we at it. Let's move on. Rank these 12 players and don't say you can't do it either. Don't even say you can't do it. Yes, there's tight ends in here, but I want you to rank the 12 players. Larry Fitzgerald, Jason Witten, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, Deshaun Jackson, Demaryius Thomas, A.J. Green, D-Hop, T.Y. Hilton, Greg Olsen, Emmanuel Sanders, Golden Tate. Rank them. I want to start with Marcus Betts so we can get him there and let him say what he got to say.
You got a whole grocery list over there. But just from the start, I can't even remember all the players that you named. But
you know what? Hold on. Before you get into it, let me read these comments. I just thought about it. Let me read these comments. Please read these comments. LOL Murray, not Evans on the list. Locke number 1, Jones 2, Minshew 3, Haskins 4, Stidham 5, said Ramona. And mainly because I don't know anything about Stidham. Daniel Jones, all that matters, said Chuck Thomas. She said, Ramona said, I'll take Murray over all 5, which is true. Daniel Jones show flashes as starter. Chuck Thomas said, Ramona said, porn mustache. Interesting. We doing madness early today? Yes. Yes, Donovan. I'll explain later why we did. What happens if Aaron Rodgers goes down? Ola. Funny. Chuckle. Devon Stanfield, what's good? I'm glad the professionals in the house too. As far as talent, yes, Ramona. As far as talent, Larry. Okay, Chuck said Larry 1, Julio 2. Let's talk some S about Bill. LOL. Jason Witten 3. All right, Chuck Thomas is listing it right now. I need your list. Marcus, and then we're gonna pass it on. I'm giving you 3 minutes. to get it
like I
done.
said, I can't remember all the players that you are we talking about. Are we talking about them now, or are we ranking their career?
We talking about overall talent.
Okay, well then, as far as right now today, DeAndre Hopkins is at the top of that list. Larry Fitzgerald's old. Jason Witten is old. So I'm taking D Hop at the top of that list.
All right, so let's switch it up then, because talent, that's gonna be too easy. Let's switch it up. Let's talk career wise. From a production standpoint, obviously you see the yards. Let's talk production.
Larry Fitz, Jason Witten. I mean, you're talking about guys that are going to be that right now. If Jason Witten had stayed retired, he would be getting ready to go in the Hall of Fame. And the same thing with Fitzgerald. 5 years after Fitzgerald retires, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. That's just what it is. Who else did you say? DeAndre Hopkins. We're still waiting to see what happens with him. I don't think T.Y. Hilton is a. I don't think he.
Can you see the list?
Julio Jones. I can't see the list. I can't see the list.
All right, so the list is again. Larry.
Yeah, hang on. Okay, let's go here. We'll go for career. I'm gonna go Larry Fitz, Jason Witten, Julio Jones. Oh, y'all got Antonio Brown on there?
Yeah.
Okay, Larry Fitz, Antonio Brown,
yep.
Julio Jones, Jason Witten, AJ Green, Demaryius Thomas, then Deshaun Jackson, T.Y. Hilton, Emmanuel Sanders, Greg Olsen, and Golden Tate would be on the last of that list for me.
Wow,
that's my list.
Devon Stanfield.
What up, man?
Give me who you think. These are the 12 players: Larry Fitz, Jason Witten, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, D-Jack, Demaryius Thomas, AJ Green, D-Hop, T.Y. Hilton, Greg Olsen, Emmanuel Sanders, Golden Tate.
And what's the criteria?
Criteria is just overall production, career-wise. How you feel?
Talent, overall production. Does degree of difficulty pertaining to quarterback play into the factor?
You can any way you want to do it.
Or is it like our favorite in order of these receivers?
You can do it any way you want. Any way you want.
All
right. Since that's the case, I consider the fact that when you have to play with several different quarterbacks over your career, I consider that degree of difficulty high. And considering the elite players that we have on this list, I'm going to go number 1 with Larry Fitzgerald. And then number 2 with DeAndre Hopkins. Then I'll go number 3, Antonio Brown. I'll go, 3, Antonio Brown. 4 is going to probably shock some people, but I'm putting Greg Olsen number 4.
Wow.
And then I'll go Julio Jones. Then I'll go Jason Witten. Then I'll go T.Y. Hilton, Deshaun Jackson. Emmanuel Sanders. No, I'm sorry. AJ Green, Deshaun Jackson, Emmanuel Sanders.
Okay. Why do you take Greg? Let me ask this question. Why do you take Greg Olsen over Jason Witten?
Greg Olsen, throughout his career, has had to play with the absolute worst quarterbacks that a man could probably have to play with as it pertains to accuracy and durability and leadership. And yet that man has produced on every stage, barring injury, like almost no other tight end.
That's a good explanation.
And really almost no other receiver. if we take
Marcus,
into
bet you
account.
a Cowboys fan. You disagree or agree with that statement? Cowboys fanatic, enthusiast. Marcus,
Yes.
do you agree with his statement as far as Greg Olsen over Jason Witten?
No. Jason Witten.
Why?
Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten will be the next two tight ends to go in the Hall of Fame. They will be the next two to go into the Hall of Fame. That's just what it is.
So it's your opinion that Jason Witten is better than Greg Olsen? Is that what you're saying?
Jason Witten has more touchdowns. He has more catches. He has more yards.
How many years played?
Jason Witten got drafted. Jason Witten, 16 years. He actually got drafted in 2003, but let's not forget he sat that year out. So he's got 16 years. And I mean,
Okay.
look, when we're talking about longevity, is a big part of it. Look, if you're gonna put Frank Gore into the Hall of Fame because of his longevity, then you got to put Jason.
I'm not saying that, Greg. I'm not saying that Jason Witten is not worthy of the Hall of Fame. I'm saying that the disparity in terms of the amount of years that have been played, and if longevity and durability are an issue, Olsen has missed what, 2 years due to injury, and the rest of them have been like little nicks and cracks here. He's played a full 4 years less than Jason Witten, and the disparity in terms of yards is not that big. Touchdowns is a little bigger, but like I said, the quarterback issues come into play when you talk about Rex Grossman 1 year with Jay Cutler and then having to play with Cam Newton, who all three have been on record as being absolutely atrocious as it pertains to different circumstances, versus Tony Romo and now Dak Prescott. I mean, to me, it's no question, on top of the fact that when you talk about Hall of Fame, when Greg Olsen retires, it's a high possibility that 5 years after he retires, he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it goes back to my argument. Who you play with does matter. I think Andre Johnson is going to go in the Hall of Fame. But look at the quarterbacks who he played with too. Sometimes you just get stuck with really bad quarterbacks, and it really, we just had an argument between players, Devontae Parker and Michael Thomas. They had a Twitter feud just this past week about who, and basically Devontae Parker said the same thing that I said. He said the same thing to Michael Thomas. He's like, look, dude, you got to play with a Hall of Fame quarterback your entire career. I'm playing with Uber drivers down here in Miami. I'm playing with Uber drivers down here. So I mean,
Marcus,
you sound like you underwater, bro.
And it's not your fault. It's the fact that the computer was calling BS.
We gonna mute that. Bye. We gonna mute that real quick. All right. Listen, it's real. Yeah. All right.
Look, what Marcus started. Hey, Dre, Marcus started off that statement correctly. Play with does play a portion. However, as it pertains to Jason Witten, I don't think that there's anybody in America that would deny the fact that Jason Witten, Robert Gronkowski, and Tony Gonzalez are three of the top tight ends to ever set foot on a football field, and really three of the top pass catchers ever set foot on a football field, not even including blocking and overall football IQ. But the fact of the matter is, when you don't put right, exactly, yeah. But the fact of the matter is, when you don't put without certified consistency on offense, let alone at the quarterback position. So it's just my opinion. Again, just my opinion. What Greg Olsen has done over his career has been nothing short of amazing, on top of the fact that he's still playing.
Okay,
And he
and
didn't
so
have
is
to take a year off to retire to let his knees rest up and have a subpar commentating career in order to get back to the space where he wanted to come back and solidify a football career and get a championship that he never got with a football team that was finally put together properly after he left. That's not Greg Olson's fault.
That's true. I mean, I got you on that. But if you're gonna make that argument, then are we gonna make the LeBron James Michael Jordan thing when Michael Jordan took a year off? If we're gonna go there,
I do it all the time. Walter Ringer, shout out to Walter Ringfield. He calls it quitting. I call it deliberate sabotage by the organization that employs you. So, you know, we have a difference of opinions, and that's the greatest thing about America. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. But the fact of the matter is, what we can't do is we cannot discount a person's contribution, especially as it pertains to numbers. And Greg Olson numbers are Hall of Fame worthy, and that's before you even get to the point where you're trying to rank him against other tight ends and skilled players.
I've always thought that the Hall of Fame was very biased against tight ends. I think that's the one thing that's going to hurt Greg Olson is you have tight ends that are still playing, that are about to retire. Like, I mean, how many years is Gronk going to play? Look, you got 3 tight ends that are sitting on deck right now in the next 7 years that are going in the Hall of Fame. And Greg Olson's not better than any of them. So that's the thing that's really going to hurt him. How
can you say that? Because unlike Gronk and Jason Witten and people like Tony Gonzalez, who at the latter part of his career had the luxury of playing with Matt Ryan, all those guys played with Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks. I don't know a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback that Greg Olson has played with. Can you name one?
Brother, I'm with you, brother. But a lot of times,
and honestly, this is probably Gronk's last year. He's probably just doing this to make a run for the Super Bowl.
And Gronk played with the GOAT, bro. He played with the GOAT.
Right.
Have there ever been 2 tight ends that go into the Hall of Fame at the same time? That's what I'm trying to say.
No. I agree with you there. But is the reason that Jason Witten is going into the Hall of Fame the stigma around the Dallas Cowboys that uplifts him? Or is it just the numbers? Because if we're going by just the numbers, I starkly disagree with the fact that Jason Witten is over Greg Olson.
All right, so let me get another opinion. Brett the Hills is in the house. What's up, Brett?
What up, man?
What up? All right, what's your thoughts on the conversation, real quick, before we get to the next subject?
It's hard to judge tight ends. It really is, because they don't get the looks wide receivers get. They don't get the touches that running backs get. And what they do should not be defined off of which quarterback they had or which quarterback they didn't have. Because if he's doing good with a mediocre quarterback, who's to say that guy is not going to do horrible with a great quarterback? Randy Moss, prime example. Had all them touchdowns in the regular season. Couldn't win the Super Bowl with Brady.
Okay, but he broke the receiving record. He broke the receiving record for most touchdowns in a season. I believe. Did he have like 25 touchdown receptions?
Yeah, 20 touchdowns in one season.
He still has 0 Super Bowl wins.
Okay, so we're doing the Super Bowl. We're doing the Super Bowl argument again. Is that what we're doing now?
We moving on. No,
okay,
we moving on.
Can I give my list? My list?
Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. My list goes like this. I'm not going to give any explanations or anything. This is just how I have them. I'm going to go Brown, Fitzgerald, Jones, Hopkins, Hilton, Jackson, Thomas, Sanders, Green, Olson, Witten, and Tate.
Before we move on, I just have one question for Brett the Hitman Hills. Do you think that Chris Carter deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and do you think that Dan Marino deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
They both deserve it.
Okay. Well, neither one of them have Super Bowl rings. Just putting that out there.
Well, let me say this too. Randy Moss had 20
Barry,
touchdowns in 2000,
running back of all time.
and he had 17 in 1998. But go ahead. Go ahead.
So, well, you're making my point for me. So when you say, well, he couldn't get them over the hill, first off, wide receivers are a dependent position. If the quarterback doesn't throw the ball to you, ain't get it. I don't care what wide receiver you are. I think all of us in here would agree that Randy Moss is one of the top 3 wide receivers to ever play football, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So he doesn't have a Super Bowl. So
I'll put him top 5, not top 3.
What?
Okay, we moving on. Whoa, we are moving on. We can talk about that later on tonight, because we might have another match.
That bus just got rear-ended.
Yeah, we're gonna rear end that joint real quick. We're gonna stop and put the brakes on. By the way, shout out to everybody that tuned in. I need to read some comments. What's up? Jason Witten is deserving of the Hall of Fame, said Patrick Long. Jones, Jackson Brown, Hopkins. Okay, so he's got Fitz, Witten, Jones, Thomas, Hopkins, Jones, Jackson, Brown. That's Kellen. Then Green, Olsen, T.Y., Sanders, Golden Tate. Okay. Ramona's got AB, number 1, D Hop 2, D Thomas 3, 4 Fitz, 5 Jones, 6 Witten, 7 Hilton, 8 Sanders, 9 D Jack, 10 AJ Green, 11 Olsen, 12 Tate. All right. My football barbecue grill just came in, said Deborah. That's dope. Send us some ribs. I'd take Miller over Witten, every day, any day, every day. We just didn't utilize him like Witten was used. Dalton said Fitzgerald, Witten, Jones, AB, Hopkins, Hilton, Thomas, Jackson, Green, Sanders, Olsen, Tate. Heath Miller was a solid as a brick, and most defenses couldn't bring him down to the ground without multiple players weighing in on him. Loved watching him play. Wish we used him more. Aaron Pop, what's up? Yes, Dalton, he had 23 touchdowns. All right, we're moving on to the next topic, and it is this. Let's get to it. Do you agree with this chart? This chart says the division winners will be San Francisco, Kansas City, Baltimore, Dallas, Houston, Carolina, Buffalo, Green Bay. Then it says the wild cards will be the Seahawks, Giants, Vikings, Titans, Bengals, and Raiders. The teams that will not make the playoffs: Eagles, Buccaneers, Saints, Lions, Chargers is on here. Jaguars, the Redskins, the Rams, the Jets, the Browns, the Patriots, the Bears, the Cardinals. Then you got the Broncos, Colts, Dolphins, Steelers, and Falcons.
No.
Let's start with the division. Let's start with the division winners. Who are you taking out? Let's start with D. Stanfield. Why not? Oh, no, you know what? Let's start with Brett in the Hills. What's up?
The one that I really disagree with the most, this is going to blow your guys' mind. My boys ain't going to win the division this year. I got Arizona winning that division.
Wow.
Damn.
That takes a lot of intestinal fortitude to say something like that.
It does.
I tell you guys all the time, I ain't no homer. Don't speak truth about my team.
No, you are a homer, but on this particular case, you really did come through. You are a homer, though.
No.
But in a good way. In a good way.
All right. That's it. That's it, Brett? That's the only one you don't agree with?
I don't think Cincinnati wins that division. I don't think Carolina wins the division.
Okay. Carolina's out. San Francisco's out, pretty much. All right.
But we'll still beat the Packers, so I ain't worried about that.
All right. Marcus. Marcus alphabet.
Yes. I think that let me see here. Chiefs, Ravens, Cowboys. I don't think that the Texans win it. I don't think that the Texans win I don't think that the Texans win that division, the AFC South. I think that the Colts are going to win that division. And I don't think that the Bills are going to win that division. I don't think that the Bills are going to win the AFC East. And I don't. Does that say that the Packers win the division?
Yes.
And I don't think that the Packers win the AFC North either. I think that the
NFC.
Yeah, I don't think that the Packers win the NFC.
I'll be right back, guys.
No, Lions are going to win that division.
All right.
The Lions will be in the lottery again, and Matt Patricia, this might be his last year with the Lions.
All right. So interesting enough that not only Brett would take a shot at the Packers, but you would too, you're a Cowboys fan. Interesting enough.
But let me just say one thing though, Dre. And I think that Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to be so frustrated. And it's not because of I think the world of Aaron Rodgers, but I think that was this draft was the ultimate disrespect to Aaron Rodgers. And I think this is, to be perfectly honest with you, I think this is last year in Green Bay. I think this is last year. You will see Aaron Rodgers. I can see Aaron Rodgers with the San Francisco 49ers next year.
Get out of here with that.
I'm serious.
Jimmy G's my quarterback. I ain't backing up from him.
Jimmy G is the weak link to that team. Y'all got everything else except a really good quarterback.
And I keep telling people what they're going to do if he throws for 5,000 this year.
Okay, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do if he blows another season again with that elite talent that y'all got over there? What do you do then?
We could say the same thing about Dak Prescott.
Okay, and that's fair. That's totally fair. That's
all right.
totally,
I'm going to let you guys know right now that the Texans will not win the division. Neither will the Panthers.
No.
I do agree with Brett in the Hills. I actually think Seattle's going to win that division. To be very honest, they should have won it last year. By the way,
they couldn't even beat us the last game of the year.
We ain't going there. I'm not going there. Not on this show. Maybe later on Madness tonight. We run through later, but I ain't doing it tonight. I'm not doing it right now. You know what? Okay, I'm not even responding to my Bet's comment about the Vikings either. I'm not responding to that either. I'm letting you know that right now. I'm not responding.
I don't know why
we're moving on.
I know that hurts.
Yeah, we're moving on. How about that? We're just going to move on. What quarterback, and I know D. Stanfield is here, I think, but he's muted. But what quarterback do you consider being better in his prime? Joe Theismann, Alex Smith. Now look at the similarities between these two quarterbacks. Both Redskin quarterbacks, both broken right tibia and fibula. Obviously, you see it happen in the same location. Final score was the same. Happened by the same type of player, except for I think Lawrence Taylor is a better player than J.J. Watt. But 3-time defensive player of the year, 3-time defensive player of the year, and then the Pro Bowl left tackle Joe Jacoby off the field due to injury, and Pro Bowl left tackle Trent Williams was off the field due to injury. Which one are we taking though?
Me personally, I'm taking Joe Theismann.
Yep.
I got Alex Smith.
I'm taking Joe Theismann. Look,
now explain why.
Alex Smith. Does he have a Super Bowl ring?
Does he?
I don't know if he has a Super Bowl ring. I think he. The 80 was it 83? I think in 83 he won the Super Bowl in 83. I have to check and see that. Alex Smith. When you look at the yards, I'm sure Alex Smith is comparable as far as yards and stuff like that because of the rules of the game nowadays. When you look at back in the day, you could use to maul quarterbacks. You could maul quarterbacks. Alex Smith got replaced by Colin Kaepernick, and I think his career is over right now. I think his career. I mean, he had a decent career. You got replaced by Colin Kaepernick. You got replaced by Patrick Mahomes, and now you just probably got replaced by Dwayne Haskins. You're a Jag, and I'm not talking about a Jacksonville Jag. He's just a guy. Alex Smith was always just a guy. He's a good quarterback. He won't lose you a lot of games, but once again, he doesn't do anything exceptional where you're like, this guy can carry us to the promised land. Everything has to be perfect for him to win a game. So I'm taking Joe Theismann.
By the way, if you did not know, Joe Theismann definitely won a Super Bowl. He's also a MVP, league MVP. He's also a two-time Pro Bowler, one-time All-Pro, won AP Offensive Player of the Year in '83. Okay, so there's your stats on Joe Theismann. Even though his completion rate was 56.7, yeah, the guy from Notre Dame is who I'm taking in his prime. I'm taking Theismann over Alex Smith. Now, let me ask D. Stanfield, who are you taking in its prime? Are you taking Theismann or are you taking Smith? Oh.
In all honesty, I don't know if Alex Smith ever had a prime. His career was surrounded by a ton of turmoil, from the Mike Singletary expedition to the Colin Kaepernick undercut to the injury. I don't think that Alex Smith ever had a prime, so I don't even think this is a legit question, to be perfectly honest with you. And that's sad because given what Alex Smith was able to do 7 years into his career, I think it's either 6 or 7 years into his career with Andy Reid, I think that under the right situation, he probably could have evolved into someone elite. So with that saying, I agree with Marcus, and I'm pretty sure everybody else it's the common consensus that Theismann is the guy. The completion percentage, given the era that he played in, was not a high passing era, and the rules were a lot different. I don't consider that as an indicator as to his greatness. But just like Alex Smith, I thought that Theismann's career was ended. I won't say prematurely, but yeah, prematurely. So yeah, I'm going with Theismann.
All right, let me read the comments real quick. Dalton Smith said, take out the Texans, Panthers, Colts are winning the AFC South. Saints are winning the NFC North. NFC South as well. He said, yes, Theismann has a Super Bowl ring. Alex Smith is not a game manager.
Not, or he is?
Is not.
I think that's accurate. I don't think that Alex Smith is a game manager. I think that Alex Smith was a potential franchise quarterback that, because of various reasons, just never had the opportunity to evolve into one. I don't think he was a game manager. Now you could call him a check down master, because that he was at one time the check down extraordinaire. Him and Tom Brady were the kings of the 7 to 14-yard pass. But I mean, outside of that, I wouldn't call him a game manager. Game managers don't take chances. Alex Smith has taken plenty of chances throughout his career. Some of them have bit him in the butt, and some of them have been beneficial for him. He just never was able to get over the hump because of one reason or another, and I don't think that was attributed to him.
Was Alex Smith the quarterback when the Chiefs had no touchdown for wide receivers?
No, they had Brody Croyle.
Yeah,
y'all remember
that's
him?
What that was. That's who that was. Brody Croyle. Yep.
Brody Croyle. You remember that? That's the name we ain't heard in a minute. Brody Croyle.
I think Brody Croyle was the reason Andy Reid went to go get Alex Smith. Is it not?
I believe so. I mean, they were struggling at quarterback back then. That was pretty bad. That was real bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Who was was that when Herm Edwards was the coach then, or was that Romeo Cornell?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I know it was either one of those.
Actually, it was Alex Smith. Right here. Alex Smith throws first touchdown pass to wide receiver in 594 days as the Chiefs finished the 2014 season without a receiver catching the touchdown pass. That was Alex Smith.
And their number one receiver that year, y'all know who that was?
Yep.
Dwayne Bowe. Dwayne Bowe.
Yeah.
No show Bowe.
Yeah. Yep. Sure was. All right. Moving right along. We're going to move on to the next topic.
Hey, Dre. Hey, Dre.
Yep.
Which quarterback has the longest run from scrimmage in NFL history?
Is that Alex Smith?
That would be correct.
Yeah. Alex Smith. Yeah.
99-yard touchdown off a bootleg.
Yeah. All right. This was specifically for Ramona Die. Y'all see it right here. I put it up. Y'all better read it. It says, Ramona Die. Tell him to put some respect on your quarterback. Okay? Everybody can see this. First 16 career starts. Wins. Lamar Jackson, 15. Patrick Mahomes, 12. 13. Patrick Mahomes, 12. Rushing yards, Lamar Jackson, 1,258. LaDainian Tomlinson had 1,236. Lamar Jackson, 94.4 passing RTG. You had Tom Brady at 90.1. Yards per attempt, 7.6. Aaron Rodgers, 7.5. Now, this is within the first 16 career starts, folks. Completion percentage, 63%. Drew Brees, 61%. Now, that's Lamar's side, right? Watch this Big Ben side right here. Wins in his first 16 career starts, right? Ben Roethlisberger, 15. Rushing yards, it says Ben plays quarterback.
I love that.
Then it says passing RTG, right? Ben Roethlisberger, 106.3. Yards per attempt, Ben Roethlisberger, 9.5. Completion percentage, 67%. What you guys take on this?
I have no disrespect for
No.
Big Ben. Big Ben is a hell of a quarterback. I just don't know. I mean, my only thing is I don't know how much longer he's got in the league, but I mean he is a really, 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 really good quarterback. No doubt.
Ron Enix.
Yep.
How you feel about the diagram?
I have no problem with it. I have none. I'm never really, I'm okay with the Steelers. I'm not a Steeler hater. I'm not a Ben hater. There's no denying that he's a good quarterback.
All right, Marcus.
No doubt. I have the utmost respect for Ben Roethlisberger, and I have them actually battling for the AFC. I've said it once and I'll say it again. If Ben Roethlisberger is even at 70 or 80% of what he normally is in that system, I could very well see the Steelers. I'm not saying that they can knock off the Ravens, but they will fight them for AFC North superiority.
All right. D. Stanfield.
You know how I feel about Ben Roethlisberger. I don't have any problem with the graphic. I just have an issue with the narrative. And the narrative is when you look at the talent that he's had around him, it tends to be a little misleading. but that's more or so on how great the organization breeds its receivers, as opposed to indicative of whether Ben Roethlisberger's talent is legit or not. I've always thought his talent was legit. I've always questioned his morals, but that has nothing to do with what he does in the football field. So no.
Okay. Yeah, I've been a big supporter of Big Ben, except for the fact of his personal issues off the field. I think Big Ben on the field is phenomenal at quarterback. I think he's been an elite top 6 quarterback for the majority of his career. And that's exactly how I feel about that. And yes, I will zoom off with that thought. I definitely will zoom off with that thought. That is my thought on Big Ben. Phenomenal quarterback. I have nothing against Big Ben, especially on the field. All right, moving on. And make sure you put some respect on Ramon Dias quarterback from now on too. All right, moving right along. Yes, buddy. Marcus Betts, this one's for you, bro. There's levels to this. Fan bases. We talk about fan bases. Jay Rivera, miss you too. Absolutely. In 2014, the Chiefs had receivers with no touchdown. I said Dalton, BJ, what up? Des, what up? There's levels to this. We talking about fan bases. Smart fan bases. Tell me if you agree or disagree. Smart fan bases. The Buccaneers, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Panthers. Pretty smart fan bases. The Lions, Chiefs, Falcons, Bengals, Redskins. Okay fan bases. The Bears, Raiders, Bills, Dolphins. Average fan bases. The Vikings, Broncos. Below average fan bases. Giants, Seahawks, Patriots, Jets. Stupid fan bases. Whoa. Jaguars, Rams, Baltimore, Eagles, San Francisco. Delusional fan bases. Titans, Packers, Texans, Saints, Colts. Brain dead fan bases. Steelers, Chargers, and of course, the Cowboys.
What? Where did you even find this?
This is like a
I can't even.
This is like a list. This is like a list that Ada would make.
I just can't.
That's the type of list that Ada would make. Just putting that out.
There's so much.
Hey, let's not name drop people that's not on the platform, please.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Listen. I'm gonna say this again for all of you people out there. You have delusional. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah,
no, they have the Steelers on brain dead.
Brain dead.
Well, yeah, that's just you can't even look. You can't even look at this chart and consider it.
You can't because they have the Packers delusional.
You can't even. This holds no water.
You have some fan bases that are. Being a Cowboys fan, I understand that there are some people that hate the Cowboys, and that's cool. I mean, everybody has their. But the Cowboys, I will say this again, and I'll say it to the day that I die, are the most popular, most watched, richest, most profitable sports franchise in the world. That's over MLB. That's over NBA. That's over European soccer leagues. That's just what it is. And I know that's hard for some people. Some of you guys, I'm going to say this, you're lucky to even have a team in your city. You're lucky to even have a team in your city. And somebody who's probably lucky to have a team in their city probably made this list. Jacksonville is lucky to have a team in their city. Cleveland already lost their team. They already lost their team. The old Cleveland Browns are the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Lions.
And they have the Browns at smart.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even. I can't.
I'll be honest. There's so much wrong with this list. I can't even.
It's the fact that it exists is just beyond me.
Okay, here's another person on this list. Ray Charles made this list. How about that? Can I say that?
At that point, yes, you can.
No, yeah. I can't even say that because I think Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, even without being able to, without their eyesight, would have made a better list.
You're probably right.
I think that their mind still works. So,
you're probably right.
This looks like a list of a person who's never watched professional football before in their life. That's what that looks like.
Like first and foremost, smart. You could take all four of them right off the top. Just cut all four of them off. Like what? What are we talking about here? Pretty smart. Oh my God.
Okay, so this is what happened. This is what happened. There was a fan from Tampa Bay, Arizona, Cleveland, and Carolina that all got together, and they made this list.
Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you what. Then they only thought they knew about their own organization because everything else on here. Listen, first of all, I'm cutting all four off the list on smart. I'm cutting 4 out of the 5 on pretty smart. Only one I'm leaving on pretty smart is Kansas City. Okay, I'm taking the Dolphins off, even though they made strides at the end of last season. Buffalo, I'll leave Buffalo on there. Chicago, I could leave Chicago. Matter of fact, I could leave all 4 of them in okay. Those okay, yeah, I could leave them on there. Average, I'll leave the Vikings.
You would move any. I'm not being a homer. I'm asking, would you move any of the okays up?
Yeah, I could. If we putting the Lions on pretty smart, I'm moving Buffalo to pretty smart. I'm moving Buffalo to pretty smart, and I'm taking the Vikings. And move it. Hold on, I'm taking the Seahawks.
I might even put the black hole. I might even put the Raiders up at 1.
So I'm taking this. Here's the ones I'm taking and moving up to smart or smart because remember we taking all of them off of the smart. So you got to put somebody up here. I'm taking Green Bay, the Saints, the Ravens,
Cowboys.
I'll even take the Cowboys because the Cowboys draft damn good.
In Pittsburgh, you got to put Pittsburgh up there.
I'll take the Cowboys, Pittsburgh, put them in pretty smart. Put them in smart.
Smart.
Kansas City can stay where it's at, even though I think they're smart too. You could take Buffalo, put them in pretty smart. I'm dropping all the rest of them except for Kansas City to average from the pretty smart. I'm taking Minnesota and putting it up at the okay. Pretty well. Yeah, I'll take Minnesota and put them up there too.
You know what? Just for principle, all the top 4 we should drop to the bottom.
Yeah, you could do that. I'm taking San Francisco and I'm moving it up to pretty smart too.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Eagles and moving it up to pretty smart too.
Although I don't have a problem with the Chargers being down there though.
I don't either.
And braindead, I'll put them at below average.
Okay, that works.
Okay. Yeah, Niners.
I got one we should move to braindead.
Even the Eagles being as stupid is disrespectful.
Yeah.
Listen, only because Bill O'Brien's there, we need to move the Texans down.
Oh my goodness!
Texans are about where they should be.
I'm so glad because we got 5 minutes left in the show.
Andre, what defines a smart fan base?
First and foremost, organizational moves, bringing in talent, bringing in talent, being able to perform at a certain level. Those three are right there.
That's the team. That's not the fan base. So
I don't think that has anything to do with. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that has anything to do with the fan base.
Well, okay. Well, we're talking about
is that hold on, Drake. I think that what they're trying to say is that is the level of support commensurate with the team's performance.
Yeah.
And why they call the Dallas Cowboys brain dead is because regardless of whether they're trash, which many could argue the last few years they have by far under exceeded the expectation. I think that the level of support that they've had in spite of their lackluster performance, especially under the lights, that's what makes them brainless.
Okay, so even on that note, I'm still the moves that I just created, I'm still moving all those teams.
Honestly, Dre, I don't think we have time for that.
We really don't. Even though I'm still moving, I still would move the teams I move, even with the fan base.
That last topic we'll have to talk about off the air.
Hey, where were the Patriots ranked?
Below average.
Below average.
I would name them brainless only because of the simple fact that they ignore all of the cheating scandals and stuff and still want to support their teams in spite of the many blatant points of evidence that that their team is winning as a result of things that we would call unsportsmanlike advantages, if you will.
One team that would definitely have to move up those Green Bay's not the fan base is not delusional.
Yeah.
Well, if you throw their front office in as a part of their fan base, then I would call them brain dead too.
You know what, Devon? There's another shot at the Green Bay Packers, y'all. Y'all see this? All right.
Hey, bro. Hey, Drake. I would do that knowing that you could downgrade the Bears from okay to trash as well, only because of the fact that we kill quarterbacks.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this one another time. We are running out of time, folks. But guess what? Monday Night Madness Part 2 will be on tonight. Yeah. Don't think just because I had to record the show for the network that we ain't gonna have Monday Night Madness again tonight. Because guess what? Where I'm working tonight, I will be able to sit. So guess what? We're gonna put it together for y'all. That's a special treat. We'll have a second dose in the Monday Night Madness tonight. So y'all get 2 doses in one.
Yeah, buddy.
So enjoy yourselves. I want y'all to enjoy yourselves. Everybody let y'all let the network and let everybody know who you are. And we will see y'all later. Starting off with the alpha. Go ahead with the alpha.
No, everything's good. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned to other Rise Up broadcasts and thank you for all your support. We appreciate the special shout out to the OnPoint Network. We appreciate.
I'm just happy to bring people together. I'm happy that our platform brings people together in a positive manner. As you can see, you see what it is. This is the goal right here. We've reached it somewhat, but we got more to go. We got more people to inspire, touch, and bring together. All right. Want to thank y'all for tuning in to Monday Night Madness. You seen it. Deep Stanfield, the professional, was in the house. Marcus Betts was in the house today. Ron Enix was in the house. Ron Thomas, Ethan Tweedle, Brett in the Hills was here as well. George Chadwick was here as well. Make sure you support their shows, all the shows you can tune in to. And make sure you join the network. Join the Rise Up Family Sports Network and OnPoint Network. You can download it. You can like us on Facebook. And Devon just told you all the platforms to watch our shows. So,